3-6 Maifia featuring UGK up in this joint. We about to sip on this Sizzurp.
It's finna be a whole lot of sipping it up, pouring it up, drinking it up. Going on around here in the year 66, 61, boy.
Y'all know how we do it.
Now pour it on up. It's going down.
Sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some 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 sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some.
I'm real, working the wheel. A pimp, not a simp. Keep the dope fiends higher than the Goodyear blimp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine poisoning. Make me sick with all that pigeon and bargaining. You say that you a boss, I ain't believing it. You got the funny Geneva watch with the Ferrari kit. Take that monkey off, you embarrassing us. I got the red promethazine, thick orange and yellow tusk. Hydrocodone on the hands-free phone. The 84 chrome on them blades, 20-inch chrome. If you got 16, you can get a Sizzurp. I'm choking on that Doja sweet and sipping on that Sizzurp.
Some boys scared to flown it, some boys they want it. Some boys they joan it, but I be messed up on it. Roll with the Maifia 6, and we ain't got that bullets. If we gon' get high, we gon' get high, and we gon' house a trick. 2 boys all at the mouth, 2 boys all at the back. And plus that Sizzurp out for playing man hard all night, and she cool with that. She popped a little X and drank on some orange juice. And soon as you thought she was freaking, she done got super loose. Thugs is coming by 3s and 2s, all in circles like duck the goose. All they want it get flown, and she on that X and that tutti fruit. $40 for just 1 ounce. Tussin' X is how it's pronounced. They been sippin' and dippin' and trippin', man, I'm about all out.
Sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some
People always asking me, Mr. 3-6 high on that, rolling on them X pills, stuttering, pop backs. What that ain't like that. We need that NyQuil to slow me down, something to keep me easy. Nothing like that yellow better. Hey, you itching, man. Talking like what's up, food? Vocal cords sounding lame. In my days, all we did was cheap out on a quarter pound. Gone on eyes of us. This is knock it down, knock you out, make you fall asleep when you're on them wheels. Ain't no doubt. Hit me when I beat for this refill once again on my weekly high. Gotta have that drink, yeah, my nigga. You know I feel like I'm gon' spank.
Tell me what you know about Frank Nito or Young Guido. Paul and Vito, we play a tune that's sweeter than Pedito. With my 3-6 pulling up in my Southern Credo. Quick fast, we'll put it on your like John Beto. Cause you frontin' rap singers, be creamy like a Zanga. You ain't from the manger, boy, but you get the middle finger. Come danger, rum drinker, occasionally take your to the tilly and be a slanger when Big Bun come. Danger, ring your alarm. Sexy thing on my arm, cup of drink in my palm. And that crazy tripping on some skinny, something that's wholesome. Florida the foursome for the most. I'm steady sipping on some Sizzurp,
sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some sippin' on some Sizzurp, sippin' on some